Are you ready for one of the most exciting football competitions ever? The Euros 2024 is almost upon us, and so will the drama, the controversies, and most definitely, the upsets. England, Germany, Portugal, and other giants in European football have all at one point been on the wrong end of upsets. The question is, which teams will suffer this time? As we wait to see what will happen, let's go down memory lane with the Euros' biggest upsets ever. Number 1. 2016. Impressive Iceland. Regarding upsets, England fans are no strangers to them. There's that embarrassing 1988 campaign where the team lost to Ireland and didn't register a single point. Worse than that day, in 2016, England fell victim to another team. No one gave Iceland a chance in the 2016 Euros. It was the first time in its history the country would qualify for the competition. The country started well, drawing against Portugal and Hungary, then beating Austria 2-1. Iceland had done the impossible, but when they met England in the round of 16, everyone's conclusion was the same. Iceland's fairy tale was over. But there was a belief in Iceland. When Rooney scored the penalty in the 4th minute of the game, the belief remained. Within 2 minutes of Rooney's penalty, Iceland's defender Ragnar Sigurdsson scored and belief was bolstered. The game was on. In the 18th minute, striker Sigurdsson shot from inside the box, and England's goalkeeper Joe Hart failed to keep it out. 2-1, and the English 11 looked hopeless. Their vast array of stars had been stunned. Until the end of the match, they could not find a reply to Iceland's second goal. Iceland would go on to the quarter-finals. This sparked outrage from the English fans and media, who absolutely tormented the players and management team, with Gary Neville saying that the abuse was so vicious that the players felt so targeted that they didn't know what to do about it. Number 2. 1992. Making up the numbers. Denmark didn't qualify for Euro 1992, Yugoslavia did. However, due to their internal conflict, Yugoslavia were disqualified, and Denmark were called up to replace them. The team was merely supposed to make up the numbers and not make it out the group. But the Danish had another plan entirely. After a solid group performance, which saw them beat France 2-1 and draw with England, Denmark finished second in their group. The team subsequently qualified for the semi-finals, where they faced Netherlands. After an early goal through midfielder Larsen, Denmark were about to cause another incredible upset. However, Dennis Bergkamp scored in the 23rd minute to bring things level. Still, the belief remained high among the Danes, and in the 33rd minute, they scored another goal. 2-1 the score. Denmark thought they had run away with the game. Frank Rijkaard equalised in the 83rd minute after a Danish player failed to clear a Netherlands corner. The teams could not be separated in the extra time either. They went to penalties, where Denmark triumphed 5-4. And away they went to the finals to face their biggest test yet, Germany. Germany were the favourites to win the competition, and despite how the Danes performed in previous matches, people still believed the Germans would win. Denmark thoroughly matched the might of the Germans from the first minute, and scored in the 18th minute of the game through an absolute rocket of a shot from John Jensen. The Danes defended well and held Germany at bay, with Peter Schmeichel keeping his team in the game with incredible saves. The Germans couldn't score, and in the 78th minute, Denmark piled more misery on them. Kim Vilfort scored from a tame shot that rolled past the keeper and found the net. The Germans couldn't do anything as the match ended 2-0, with Denmark winning the competition. And there you have it. The team that didn't qualify eventually won. Is this the biggest shock in Euros history? Number 3. 1996. Golden Goal Heartbreak. Czechoslovakia had an impressive Euro campaign in 1976. The team stopped Germany from defending their 1972 European Championship trophy. Czechoslovakia held Germany to draw in regulation time before dumping them out of the competition on penalties. However, when Czechoslovakia split into two countries, Czech failed to qualify for the Euros for some years. Fortunately, in 1996, the team qualified, but nobody was tipping them to do anything spectacular as they were a newly formed team. No one cared about the Czechs and their unknown players. However, the team surprised everyone by finishing second in their group. It wasn't an easy feat, considering the quality of opponents they had in their group. Germany beat them in their opening match of the competition 2-0, and that was expected. What people didn't expect was the Czechs beating Italy 2-1 and holding Russia to a 3-3 draw. While this was enough to get them out of the group stage, they had the fierce Portugal to face in the quarter-finals. They dispatched Portugal with a solitary goal before facing France in the semis. Imagine people's surprise that the Czechs held France to a draw and beat them on penalties. Now, it was time to face their 1976 nemesis, Germany, who had beaten England in the semi-finals. After a first-half draw, the Czechs scored a penalty in the 59th minute. Could it be that the team would cause another upset? It certainly felt that way until the 73rd minute, when Germany equalised. The match then went to golden goal. It was during that 30-minute period that the fairy tale ended, and it didn't take long. Germany scored in the 95th minute and claimed Euro glory with that heartbreaking golden goal. The golden goal era was something else, and now we don't even have away goals in the Champions League. The next one is a shock most people miss out on, and it's sensational. Number 4. 2008. The Croatia crumble. In Euro 2008, Croatia were phenomenal. They steamrolled over anyone in their path. The team completely crushed Poland, Austria, and eventually finalists Germany in their group. On the other hand, Turkey just about got out of their group, grinding out late wins against Switzerland and the Czech Republic. As if Turkey hadn't struggled enough in the group stages, they had to face Croatia next. Many expected Turkey's journey to end, with Croatia doing to them what they had done to the others. But the Turkish side proved hard to crack. Croatia dominated, but they met with Turkey's impenetrable defence. You would think Turkey borrowed Mourinho's infamous bus. The game went to extra time, and finally, Ivan Klasnic broke the deadlock in the 119th minute. The match was over. The Croats had finally won. The Turks did not think so. They wouldn't accept defeat. Just before the referee blew the final whistle, Semih Şentürk dramatically equalised for Turkey to take the match to penalties. With a chance of a Euros semi staring them in the face, Croatia's star player Luka Modric failed to convert his penalty. Ivan Rakitic also missed their penalty, with Turkey scoring all of theirs. Next up is the most famous shock ever at the Euros. 2004, Greece winning the Euro. The only target we had at Euro 2004 was to be competitive, represent the country with pride. We had the inner belief that we could do that, but we didn't really have the goal of qualifying from our group. It didn't seem a realistic approach, said the Greece vice-captain after the tournament. This was a logical thought process, considering the footballing giants Portugal and Spain were drawn in the same group as them. But football has shown that it isn't a logical sport. Bizarre things happen, and it did with Greece. Greece first beat host nation Portugal 2-1 and then drew to Spain. It was two surprising performances. They were then extremely disappointed to lose to Russia 2-1, which was even more surprising considering their earlier two matches. The team made it out of their group in second place, and at the quarter-finals, everyone expected France to knock them out. France couldn't, as Greece beat them 1-0, relying on defence and set pieces to see them through. They also beat the Czech Republic in the semi-finals via a silver goal, which was a rule that meant if a team was leading after half-time of extra time, they would win the match. The team met hosts Portugal again in the finals, despite already beating them in the groups. They were the underdogs. However, they showed that they had more bite than bark, as they scored in the 57th minute and held Portugal till the end of the match. Despite being on home soil, Greece beat Portugal not once, but twice in the same tournament. Greece had done the unthinkable. They had won the Euros. Football can be unpredictable, and these examples prove it. Which is the biggest shock on this list? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for